What's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and today's build breakdown is going to be a little bit different. We're doing something on the new exotic AR, St. Elmo's Engine, but there are a few important details I want to start with, and obviously at the end I will show you some gameplay footage. Now the first thing we're going over is that with this weapon you actually have the option to change that third core attribute to something you want. So the original version I got from the reward track had swap speed as its third core attribute, and honestly I really don't have a use for that with this weapon. So what I did is I kept reconfiguring it until I got damage to targets out of cover. Now that brings me to two important details. First of all, remember that any time in this game when you reconfigure an exotic, you are completely replacing the one that you have, which means it's an entirely new item. And that brings me to my second point, which is that the moment you get the version of this weapon that you want, go to your inventory, mark it as a favorite. That will ensure you do not accidentally delete the thing. I've heard from some of you out there who have done that, and that absolutely sucks. So make sure, my friends, that is the first thing you do when you get the one you want. With that being said, let's now jump into the build breakdown itself, starting with the specialization. For this version of the build, I'm using Gunner. We're going to get that reload speed increase, armor on kill. It gives you the ability to use the Banshee Pulse as well, which is another way to run with this. You also get that rate of fire increase as well, and remember, regardless of which specialization you choose, always have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree. That way you're getting that extra 15% weapon damage bonus regardless of which one you have equipped. Now my primary for this build, needless to say, is the new exotic AR, St. Elmo's Engine, and this thing is an absolute monster. Now you can see mine is completely god rolled, and to be clear, that is after I reconfigured the weapon. I got the damage to targets out of cover, and I optimized all of those different attributes. Now the thing is so effective not only because of its talent, where shooting an enemy with this weapon gives you one stack. At 100 stacks, the next magazine will be filled with shock ammo, but you can also see the mods, and when you look at them, they happen to be absolutely insane. We're talking 20% crit hit damage, 30 extra rounds, 20% weapon handling, 20% crit hit chance as well. And for me, there are very few weapons in the game that I want to really level up as far as expertise goes, but this is definitely going to be one of them. Moving on to my secondary, it's the Dark Winter SMG. You can really put anything you want here. I absolutely love this weapon. It's at expertise level 12. It has the talent Perfect Killer. But once again, my friends, you can really put anything you want here. I have a version where I have a shotgun as the secondary. It's up to you. I do not touch my handgun with this build. Moving on to the gear, you can see it's the Coyote's Mask, 1 Fenris, and 4 Negotiators. Now starting with the mask, and this also happens to be one of my favorite exotics in the game. I don't use it as often as I should. You can see I'm only at rank 5. I need to get on that. But anyway, the reason this is so effective is because of its talent Pack Instincts, where you and your allies gain a bonus based on the distance of the last enemy you hit. You've got 0 to 15 meters, it's 25% crit hit damage, 15 to 25 is 10% crit hit chance and 10% crit hit damage as well. And 25 meters plus is 25% crit hit chance. Now, if you do not have this as yet, I recommend putting a piece of Grupo in its place, and you can still get the job done with that build. Now, moving on to the body armor, it's the 1 piece of Fenris, which is going to give us a 10% AR damage bonus, and we're using the talent Obliterate, where critical hits increase weapon damage by 1% for 5 seconds, stacking up to 25 times. Now moving on to the holster, knee pads, gloves, and backpack, and they are the 4 pieces of the Negotiator's Dilemma gear set. We're using all 4 so we get all of the brand set bonuses. 2 pieces 15% crit hit chance, 3 is 20% crit hit damage, and 4 pieces Hostile Negotiations, where critical hits marks enemies for 20 seconds up to 3 times, and it's just an absolutely amazing brand set. Now on all of these pieces, I'm trying to stack crit hit chance and crit hit damage every place I can, and keep in mind when we look at the numbers at the end of the video, they're going to be dependent on a few things. First of all, obviously your gear. I mean, you can see with the knee pads, these have 10% headshot damage. I really wish that was crit hit damage as well, and this is also dependent on having a watch at shade level 1000. Those will have an impact on your final numbers. Now when we make our way to the bag, it is the 4th and final piece of the Negotiator's gear set, which also gives us the talent Critical Measures, which increases hostile negotiations from 60% to 100%. Now you do have a lot of options when it comes to the bag, and as I said earlier, this is going to be the first of many builds that I put together around this weapon. I have one around the Memento. There are so many different ways you can run with this. Now when we look at the numbers, you can see I'm sitting at 51% crit hit chance. Remember, the max is 60, and 180.4 crit hit damage, which is absolutely insane. And keep in mind, this is without the buffs on the Coyote's Mask, and once again, if you do not have that mask, put a piece of Grupo there instead, add a little, extra crit hit chance. You'll be sitting around, 57%, and my friends, you will absolutely decimate NPCs left and right. One thing I forgot to show you in this video was my skills. I'm using the Crusader shield in case things get sideways, and the assault assault drone as well because it is a great distraction to NPC, puts out damage. Again, this is one of so many different ways you can run this thing. And most of you know by now, one of my favorite aspects about putting these build videos together is the family that we have at the channel. So as always, if you have any tips or tricks you want to pass along, please do so, as the main goal is to help out as many people as we can. On that note, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage, but I want to say thank you all for your incredible support of this channel and remind you, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
It's a collection of transcripts of those from months of prisoner interrogations. The information stored on a military-grade laptop, kept in the main holding area downstairs. The first priority is to release the prisoner. The security terminal should be somewhere nearby. Look around. The main holding area is downstairs. Get moving. The True Sons seem to be in control of the holding area. The hyenas are knocking out security cameras. Pretty smart of them.
Reinforcements en route.